Hey guys, it's Paradise, and we just got a bunch of new gameplay for Wilds, and this is quite a big one as we finally have a full hunt of one of the new Apexes. And it's not just that, because there are hidden details throughout the gameplay about the weapons, mantles, and more that have us even more excited about the game releasing. This information and gameplay is part of IGN's first series, and this time we got an accompanying article that focuses on the locale, the Oil Well Basin. But before we talk about the oil well stuff, let's dive into the cool details that we've learnt about Black Flame. We knew that the name Black Flame would be a temporary thing, and with the IGN gameplay, we got the official reveal of the monster's actual name. It's Nu Udra, which is very cool to say and fits with the ongoing theme of the other Apexes with Raydao and Uthduna. Much of this monster's behavior has been a bit of a mystery since its reveal, but the interview on IGN gives even more insight into the monster. The key parts are that Uthduna is a tentacled, octopus-like monster covered in flammable oil. It's actually classified as a cephalopod, but it also has its own primary element, similar to how Raydao controls lightning and Uthduna controls water. For Nu Udra, it is fire, which is of course fitting for the area that it resides in. The fact that this monster is also covered in oil does give us some hope that GOG might come back. Now, just looking at Nu Udra, you can see out of the Monster Hunter roster, it is a very unique monster. However, the devs have said that it is inspired by the movements of a few monsters from past games, such as Lagi, Yamasukami, and Nakakos. For its moveset, we know it can use its tentacles to do unpredictable attacks, meaning it's going to make for a very interesting hunt. One of its most notable attacks is this slam and pin on the hunter. We've seen this in the reveal trailer for Black Flame, but now we can see it in full action, and it is just epic how the hunter gets cooked. The tentacles do have some interesting properties, because not only can they be used for attacks, but we as the hunter can actually sever them. Just as creepy as it is in real life, the tentacles can still move around after being cut off. Something super useful to know about them that people probably won't realize, at least at first, but the devs have confirmed that the severed tentacles will decay over time, and this will impact the drops and materials that you then get from them. So it'll be awesome if some of the decayed materials is needed for crafting weapons and armor. Another very useful and interesting thing to know about Nu Udra is that the light emitting section of its body is actually Nu Udra's sensory organ, and the devs have said that it doesn't use vision to understand the world around it, so flash bombs do not affect it. Another small but very cool detail is that when Nu Udra is moving between areas, it will sometimes use the gaps in the wall to slip away. And we are loving that they've included this kind of unique behavior. You can really see why the monster has earned the nickname the Black Flame in the fight, because when it changes states, it sets itself ablaze. The whole monster is of course very cool, and we cannot wait to take this one on in the full game, but we do have a question for you guys. We are liking the look of Raydao, and it is probably our favorite Apex at the moment, at least until the reveal of the next area. But since they all look so cool, which one are you guys liking the most? Now, next up, we're going to go over some of the Oil Well Basin information. There's so much to go through, but we want to keep this mostly as gameplay focused without fluff as possible. So here are the most interesting things we've learned about the new locale without wasting any time. We know that the weather and its various states are an important part of Wilds, and the Oil Well Basin cycles through 3 distinct phases. The fallow phase, characterized by the basin being filled with mud and oil. The inclemency phase, also known as Fire Spring, where flames consume the oil silts. And then there's the plenty phase, in which the oil and soot disappear, uncovering minerals, microorganisms, and man-made artifacts. Also, the general idea for the area was to have something with more versatility and verticality that plays into the ecosystem. The top strata is sunlit with oil pooling like mud. The middle strata contains creatures similar to those found deep in the sea, and the bottom strata is extremely hot with lava and geothermal lifeforms. Now, just like with most of these IGN first releases, some of the most notable and interesting takeaways actually come from things not mentioned in the articles. In the actual gameplay, we got a look at more environmental hazards and traps that we can use on monsters, and at the very start of the video, you can actually see the player pick up a blast coal lump and then roll it like a barrel bomb towards the monster. It's going to be super fun to do this in a group where you're just bombarding the monster with these rolling lumps of blast coal. In the gameplay, we also got a glimpse at an NPC hunter wearing the Rocksteady mantle, and we've already seen the ghillie mantle is back previously as it was usable in the beta, but now we are finally getting to see some of the other mantles that will be included. There's new weapons that we haven't seen before that also made an appearance in the gameplay. The first one we have to point out is this insane gun lance. It is awesome and it looks like a revolver and even has a spinning component to it. People are thinking this could be the Balahara gun lance as it shares a lot of similarity to the Balahara weapons, at least the ones we've seen so far, but whatever monster it does belong to, it's probably one of our favorite weapons that we have seen so far. It kind of reminds us to say we really hope they bring back the Ignition Greatsword as a weapon, because that was just so cool to look at. Another weapon that was spotted in the gameplay is the Gypsaros Heavy Bowgun. It is expected, but it is nice to see it's back, even if it was only for a glimpse. And then we have a lance, and we aren't exactly sure what monster this belongs to, but the community is settling on it being something that's likely from the Deshagama line, meaning that you lance mains will have a new option for lances in Wilds. And lastly, we got to see a turf war between Arekkz and Nu Udra, in which Arekkz gets destroyed and completely cooked. Turf wars are probably one of our favorite parts of Monster Hunter, and we really hope in the future they could implement turf wars that include more than just 2 monsters, as that would be really cool. The turf war is awesome though, so we will leave you to watch that because you don't want to miss it. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're 2 friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.